Well, hello everyone and welcome. Thanks for joining me on my adventure today. We're in the Huron National Forest, Hoist Lakes foot travel area. We're in the east trailhead parking lot right now and getting ready to head out into the woods today. Gonna do a tarp camp tonight. I'm gonna push the envelope a little bit on my my comfort level in the woods. No tent, no hammock. Gonna sleep on the ground under a tarp, and it's supposed to get down to around 40 degrees, 37, 40 degrees tonight, so it's going to be interesting. I've been playing it safe for too long with tents. Time to push it a little bit and see actually what I can endure in the woods. So I'm going to get packed up here real quick. It's been a long drive. I've spent a lot of time getting here. I actually left the house at 9 a.m. this morning. It's now almost 3, and I've been driving and stopping and driving and stopping. I've been doing a lot of photography and videography on the way up, so it's delayed my start, and I got to get cracking, get back in the woods. So let's go. Right, so here's the map. Hoist Lakes foot travel area. Now usually this is over the parking lot on the west side, and I usually hike in along here and stay by Byron Lake. This time we're all the way over on the east side at this trailhead right here, and I intend to hike this trail footpath back into this cluster of lakes. 3 little lakes here called the Hoist Lakes, and there's 1, 2 campgrounds here. Looks like there's another campsite right here too. Anyway, my destination is these lakes. Hopefully there's a campsite available, because there's like 8 vehicles in the parking lot here today. Now, some of these people may be day hikers. Some of them may be hunters. We'll find out when we're back in the woods. Are you ready? Here we go. Boy, it's already got some gnarly rooty stuff here. So in case you hadn't noticed, it is autumn in Michigan right now. It's October 13th. Fall colors are a little bit behind this year. Driving up all the way from Oakland County to where I am, Alcona County. Some spots of color sporadic here and there in the woods, but nothing too fantastic overall yet. You can see the pack on my back. That sucker is full right to the top, poking out of the top even. I have more stuff in that pack tonight than I've ever carried before. I overdid it. I mentioned I'm trying to push the envelope, but I'm still kind of a weenie. I brought 2 tarps. And I got a sleeping bag and a down quilt. So I don't know how much envelope pushing that is. My one tarp is my actually my hammock fly. I might pitch that just as shelter for cooking and sitting. The other tarp is my Marine Corps surplus tarp, and that one actually I think I'm going to sleep under that one. I've pitched that as a sleep shelter once before, kind of a low shelter against the ground. The reason I'm using that is it's got grommet holes in it so I can stake it down to the ground. Found the woodchuck's burrow here. Doesn't look like anyone's home. Now that it's autumn, the woods have opened up quite a bit. A lot of the undergrowth has lost its leaves, so you can see farther into the woods. Still a lot of leaves in the canopy. That's pretty. I tell you, I'm the master of poor preparation and unexecuted plans. My plan was to get up early and get out of the house this morning. I wanted to do kind of like a photojournalism tour of the route up here today. There's so much interesting stuff that always catches my eyes driving north, especially once you get off the expressway. But I sat around at the house this morning, cat on my lap, drinking my coffee. Didn't get on the road till 9 o'clock. And I had to stop at Myers. Then I had to stop at a rest area. Oh Lord, by the time I was headed north, it was 10 a.m. As soon as I got off the expressway in Standish, I started taking pictures. And man, did that start eating up the time. Every half mile or so, I'd see something I want to take a picture of, slam on the brakes, do a U-turn, pull off to the side of the road, try to take a picture. It was like 1:30, I made it to Hale for some lunch. I grabbed a quick burger and out of Hale at 2 o'clock. I think I was at the trailhead back there at 3. And so now I got like 4 hours of light left, if that, to get back to my site. Hopefully there's one back there. And yeah, get set up, find some firewood hopefully. There's a pile of firewood right there. Except I'd have to walk a mile back to get it. Yeah, here's some deadfall over the trail up ahead here. I think I'm only about half a mile in. But this is ideal. Well, looks like it's recent deadfall because it's still got leaves on it. But this is ideal for firewood, ready-made. All you got to do is come and cut it and drag it back to camp. Hopefully there's some of these closer to where the campsites are. Such a nice day for a walk in the woods. Look at that. Oh, look at this here. A tunnel of golden light. Remember that leaf pile you jumped into when you were a kid? Your parents spent 2 hours raking up the front yard and then you jumped into the leaf pile, spread it all over the place. Remember what that smelled like? That's what it smells like right now, back here in the woods. All right, we're coming up on the first trail post here. Down in there, one of the Hoist Lakes. I just back that way, just past the trail sign pointing me towards the campsites this way. But I just noticed the lake down in there. We're getting close. All right, so right back there was a little fork in the trail. I said, eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Let's go left. And there's a campsite over there, unoccupied. Fire pit. Fungus among us. What a nice view. Follow this other footpath here. This looks like a social trail that leads between campsites. We'll see. That one was pretty nice, but you never know. The next one might be nicer. It's another little lake down in there. All right, I'm going to get out of this pack. Enough. There's my tarp spot right down here. Reasonably level patch of grass here. Got a tree I can use to guy out the top of the tarp, give me a little bit more headroom in it. Beautiful view of the lake. Fire pit back that way. So here's my sleeping quarters for tonight. I have my surplus U.S. Marine tarp pitched in a, I don't know what you want to call it, semi-pup tent style. It's open at this end, one end. And then closed at the other. Boy, that camo is working really good, isn't it? It disappeared. I can't see it. So I'm open to the breeze at this end. It doesn't matter which way you pitch it. Whichever way you pitch it, the open end's going to be where the wind's coming. Might as well roll the dice. It's a crapshoot. But I have my sleeping system in here. You'll never see. I have 20-degree down comforter and like a 40-degree poly sleeping bag. I have my air mattress inside the sleeping bag and some Reflectix insulation underneath the air mattress. And of course, I'll sleep fully clothed, and a hat on my head and a scarf around my neck. We'll see how it goes. It's supposed to get down to like 40-ish tonight. And so right now the wind is sort of blowing at an angle across the opening of the tarp there. I'm hoping that as the sun goes down, the wind abates. It's about 5 o'clock. Starting to get some pretty long shadows on the campsite here. I haven't gathered any wood yet. Better get with it. So I just went back in the woods a little ways and I got me some firewood here. Some dead and down saplings. Look like they might be hardwood, I don't know. Should be enough to make a decent fire. And if I need more, there's some dead and down popple back there too. It's kind of punky, but it might burn if you get some good coals under it. Getting that low evening sun here right now. I don't know. An hour maybe before it's below the trees over there. What do they say? A hand width is equal to an hour? Maybe less. Anyway, it's casting some really excellent warm light here on the site. Getting that evening autumn glow going on. Very pretty. Alright, I'm going to saw up some of this firewood here. Wood's going to warm me. It's already warmed me once, dragging it out of the woods. Now it's going to warm me again sawing it. Never know what you're going to find on a campsite. Little army man here. He's missing his head though. Pew, 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 pew. Sure, I'm glad I packed in this bow saw too. Boy, I had a little folding saw. I still got it in the pack, but this works so much better. Some birch bark here and some wax soaked crayon tubes. Wow, look at that birch bark go. It's like gasoline. Holy cow. Yeah, there's enough little tindery stuff here from the last guy's fire. Should be kind of dry. Should help me get going. I'm going to get this fire going here. It's enough to warm some water and heat my MRE. I'm getting pretty hungry. Gathering wood burns up calories. Here's tonight's dinner. MRE, menu 24, Southwest beef and black beans. I've had this one before, it's pretty good. Need to put some fuel on the fire though. Stopped in Standish and got me a tallboy too. Pibbers. That should go good with the Southwest beef and beans, don't you think? Hipster beer. There she goes. Last rays. Sun's down below the trees. There's the last spot she's hitting on the trees right there. While we're waiting for the MREs to heat up there, I think it's time we open this PBR. Oh yeah. Well, I done it again. I thought I was filming and I wasn't. So here's the PBR sip. Tastes just like I remember it. And I was saying before about PBR is hipster beer now, or so I'm told. Hipsters not wanting to be part of the crowd. They want to go their own way. They want to create their own trends before it's cool. So they've shunned craft beer and all that kind of stuff. And they think they're cool because they drink PBR. Good old cheap PBR. 24-ounce tallboy there, $1.29. Anyway, little do the hipsters know, I was drinking PBR before they were even born, back in the 70s. Nothing was finer than to grab a 12-pack of cold PBRs and head down into Hines Park, grab a picnic table alongside the road and watch the world go by. The circus that was Hines Park and Edward Hines Drive back in the 70s. Anyway, we enjoyed our share of PBR down there. PBR, Pepsi, Busch, Miller, head for the mountains, Busch beer. Yeah. And if somebody was headed to Colorado and had room in their car, they would bring back as many cases of Coors as they could. Believe it or not, Coors was not distributed in Michigan back in the 70s, and it was considered a delicacy. And if you had Coors, you had friends coming out of the woodwork because everybody wanted a Coors. Colorado Kool-Aid, we called it. Okay, so I think the MREs are the entree's ready to go here. So I'm going to dig in. Dinner is served. Hot. It's hot. Holy cow. It blew up. That's no good. I overheated it. Pretty good. Tortillas are more like little pieces of leather. They look like they've been run over by a steamroller. I like MREs. As camp meals go, they're a little pricey. And it's kind of a novelty, but I just like them. I pick and choose the ones I buy. I won't buy anything weird. But I've had good luck with most of them. And I enjoy them a lot. I like them. It's like a box of Cracker Jacks with a prize in it. You know, you never know what the prize is going to be. You never know what's going to be in your MRE. And you got all these little surprises you keep pulling out. Like that spread I had laid out tonight. Man, I'm not even going to eat all that. I'm going to have the beef, the tortillas, and the spiced apple dessert, and rest of it I'll have another time. Oh, and now's when it gets good in the woods. The sun is down below the trees over to the west there. Still a rim of light on the tops of the trees in the east. That'll be gone. That'll be gone in just a few minutes. But the wind that was blowing here today is gone now, just like I hoped it would be. The water in the lake down there is like glass right now. It's just beautiful. It's reflecting the forest on the far shore there, the leaves, and just a little ripple, you know, in the water breaking the mirror surface. It's absolutely still and quiet here right now. I'm so glad that I learned about this place. Hoist Lakes foot travel area, and just a few miles from here is the Reed Lake foot travel area. Similar topography in each place, hardwood upland forest ecosystem with beaver ponds and small lakes, remnants of the last glacial period in Michigan. Just these little pothole lakes and the steep hills all around them on the banks. And I don't know, just being here, it makes my heart sing. It's just, I don't know. I can't articulate the feeling, but it's what I love. It's just you and nature. And it doesn't cost a thing. This is free. All you have to do is expend the energy to hike back in here. 2 miles from the trailhead. Well, I hope the bears have had plenty to eat today. They won't be hungry tonight because I've just violated one of the rules of dispersed or backcountry camping or whatever, and that's to keep a clean campsite. You're not supposed to eat on your campsite. You're supposed to cook and consume your food away from your campsite, and not have anything on your site that smells or even hints of food. Now I warmed my MRE here in the water, and I got it too hot and it popped and it squirted a little out. I got it on my gloves. I got it on my hands. Yeah, so I'm probably going to have to go down and wash my hands in the lake before I go to bed. I'm going to take everything here that could possibly have food scent on it and take it and hang it up in my bear bag. Yeah, it's hard to, you got to be disciplined. It's hard to focus sometimes. I've been really discombobulated today. I don't know what it is. Most camping trips, I'm all mellow and in the groove. But I've been all discombobulated today, disorganized, confused, going helter-skelter, forgetting stuff, not knowing where stuff is. I don't know. I feel like I'm rushed or hurried or something, and I shouldn't be. I came here to relax. And I think the whole deal is, this morning, I woke up, I had a headache, so I took a migraine pill, which has caffeine in it. Then I had a cup of coffee, big cup of French press dark roast coffee. Then I got in my truck and headed here, and I had another Tim Hortons coffee on the way. I think I got over-caffeinated today. It just drove me off the rails. All right, time for some dessert. Apple pieces in spice sauce. By the way, good thing I didn't burn this one. Didn't pop. The date code on this is 6106. So that means this was packaged on the 106th day of 2016. So it's, I don't know, 2 years and some months old. Nice big chunks of apple. in cinnamony sauce. I've had this before. I enjoyed it last time I had it too. It would go good with vanilla ice cream. None of that out here. Let's walk down to the lake before it gets too dark. Gotta watch my step here. It's pretty washed out and eroded. I don't know if you can see all the roots across the path. Not someplace you'd want to walk in the dark. Just do a panorama of the lake. By my internal compass right now, we're facing probably southeast, and we're going to swing around towards the south. Got a sliver of a moon. And the water's an absolute mirror right now. This is probably facing west, and we're swinging around west, northwest. This lake is kind of a boomerang shape down there. Someone set up a dispersed camp. You see that blue tarp? So I got neighbors. You can't see them down there. But they have their orange hunting hats on too, just like me. It is bow season right now in Michigan. I don't know how long it runs. I know it started October 1st, and this land is all open to hunting, but I don't think there's going to be too many hunters right around these established campsites and hiking trails. But nevertheless, it's probably a good idea to wear the orange beanie.